And how much wetland has been lost since Hurricane Betsy hit? So how much has hurricane protection been reduced? And most people don't realize that the wetlands that have been lost were the buffer against hurricanes. And so if you cut that in half, then your protection against hurricanes is half what it was when there was a Hurricane Betsy.
With this whole change of the ecosystem down here, we're getting less vegetation for the birds to live in, less marsh land for different types of species to nest and breed. So we're seeing a real impact there.
Because of all of that nutrient here, over thousands and thousands of years, you've had this Mississippi River flyway develop where birds that are living down in Central America will come through this area into North America and then spread out to go up and nest and lay their eggs. And then at the end of the year, after they've hatched all their babies and fledged them, then they all fly back through this area, heading south.
The Mississippi Flyway provides wintering habitat for between 50 and 70% of the ducks and geese that live in North America.
Some of them stay here all winter, and some of them stop here a while and then go down the coast to Mexico or go across the Gulf.
Petrochemical plants in Louisiana discharge more into the environment than other states in the U.S. If you have all these different petrochemicals in the Mississippi River and these start diverting out into the marsh and wetlands, what kind of impact is it going to have on the ecosystem out there? And we don't know.
The brown pelican and the state bird all died because we used DDT as a pesticide, and as that came down the river, it'd get into the fish, and then the pelicans ate the fish. And then when they laid eggs, the eggs would just have a thin shell. Then when the mother tried to sit on them to keep them warm, she'd break them. And so all the pelicans in Louisiana died from the pesticides that came down the river. Eventually, this country banned DDT, but it took a while for it to get out of the ecosystem. And then we brought in pelicans from Florida. It took a couple of tries, but now they're all over the state. It's wonderful to see them again.
The coastal wetlands in Louisiana provide 40% of the nation's fisheries.
The Louisiana wetlands are so productive that it's comparable to the production of the Atlantic seaboard.
Marshes are a nursery for baby fish, shrimp, crabs, etc. And without the marshes, these animals wouldn't be here.
17% of the oil and 25% of the gas this nation uses and produces goes through the Louisiana waters.
The construction of oil and gas canals allowed salt water to come in, and many of the marshes in Louisiana are brackish water marshes and cannot tolerate certain salt levels.
In coastal Louisiana, we like to see a good balance of freshwater marsh, followed by intermediate marsh, brackish marsh, and salt marsh. And that's what you need to maintain the balance of the ecosystem so that all the critters out there and all the plants can interact in a healthy way.
It's not so much that nutria or muskrats or oil field canals or levees on the Mississippi River, any one of those individually is really the problem.
All have created a situation right now that has South Louisiana in a state of collapse, and so goes South Louisiana, and so goes New Orleans.